Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial on custom inversions. So I have two roller coasters next to each other here. It's the same type of coaster, the start is the same. I'm gonna use the one on the right to make custom inversions and the one on the left to make the pre-made in-game inversions here. So you get to see the difference between those two. Of course, like any custom is always different than the in-game one, but that doesn't make it better or worse, it just makes it different and you have more control over it. You have control of how it starts, how it ends. You can stretch pieces here and there. You can do all kinds of stuff. I'm a big fan of custom inversions. I always make them. So let's start with the easiest one, the loop. So the key for the loop is if you want a loop, you want the vertical axis to reach 180. If that happens, then you have a loop. That's the key of it. Of course, you don't want it to just be straight like this because, well, as you can see, I am now exactly straight. If I keep going, I'm gonna clip through my own track. So the big thing is you need to turn a little bit. Now you're going to be upside down, which means if I turn left here, it's gonna go right. If I turn right, it's gonna go left. So let's turn it like this. And then, see, as you can see, I am now going this way. That's what I want right now. The big thing about the turning is you want to do it as you go up on the first elevation here, because if you turn at 90 degree, it turns on a dime and it gives you basically almost no lateral g-force. That's where it's the smoothest. Like, that's the smoothest point to turn. Now this is kind of a lot of speed for such a small loop, so I'm actually going to stretch it out a little bit here. Let's put it in two pieces. So like this. 90 degree. There we go. You can also remove the angle snap, go in more smaller increments. Actually, this is kind of big, so let's make it like this. There we go. And of course, you can always use the smooth buttons, but the technique that I'm teaching right now, it's an idea that you don't need the smooth buttons. It's not necessarily going to be perfect, but it's going to be good enough. So now over here, I got a total of 32 meter long. The top part should always be smaller. So I'm just going to keep this at 16 meter. Once you reach the top, you want to go back to 0 degree turning. That part, if it's not straight, it looks weird. Because you're gonna need to, you're gonna turn here, but then you're gonna turn back in the other direction right afterward. So it kind of looks weird. Also, you might want to do custom supports. I do have a video tutorial on custom supports. It's easier than people think. So going back down, I'm going to do this, and then this was the piece where I turned, like that one right here. This is where I was turning, so this is where I will turn back. So I was at 45 degree here. Whoops. There you go, 45 degree. So yeah, this is where you turn back. Make sure you turn in the opposite direction. There we go. And like I said, you might want to do custom supports. Beautiful loop, just like that. Very simple, very easy. If you don't like it, you can use extra pieces to have like, you know, more piece, smaller piece to have more smaller increments. For example, here I didn't had to go straight back to 90 degree. I could have went like maybe 22 degree and then bang 90. So it would have made it more elongated. You can also just stretch it out like this if that's what you want. I'm just gonna leave it like this. It's a, you know, I didn't really try that much. Um, and of course, because it's custom, you can always make all kinds of crazy things, like a very long start and then a very short end. So you could gain height with your inversion or other way around. So you lose height with your inversions, all kinds of stuff like that. It's it's very useful. Now using the in-game one, let's make it left. There we go. So, fun fact about the in-game one, you don't, you're stuck with this at the start of the loop, and you don't control anything else than just height. And even then, there's a minimum and maximum height. I once did a loop where this wasn't high enough, so I did like a loop in 12 piece, like super big loop. You know, that's one of the reasons why you should make custom ones. They're just so good. Alright, so let's test it out. This is the in-game one. It's good. Definitely good, obviously. And now let's test out the custom one. It's also good. In fact, I think it's a little bit smoother. So a few keys about custom loops is, like I said, make sure the top part is smaller than the rest. And the reason for that is because your train is going up, it's losing momentum. So if you want your g-force and speed to be relatively consistent, then you want your top part to be smaller. Otherwise, you know, it's gonna slow down, and then you're almost gonna stall. If you want to make a stall, then good, do it. If you want to make a pure round, you can definitely do that. Just make sure to use the same amount of piece bottom at the top. But if you want to try to imitate real life loops, and the reason why real life loops are like that is, like I said, because there's less speed at the top, then that's what you want to do here. So that was custom loop. Moving on to corkscrews. Now, the big difference between a loop and a corkscrew, I mean any roll, any sort of roll, the difference is on a loop inversion, you have the vertical axe that reaches 180. On a roll, you have the pitch, or is it called the pitch? The banking, sorry. You have the banking that reaches 180. That's the big difference. So, I'll make a small one here. You don't want to go all the way to 90 degree here. when it comes to a corkscrew. By the way, corkscrews are one of my favorite things in real life. It's in rolls. It's this thing right there. So when it comes to corkscrew, you want to add a little bit, just a little bit of banking offset. Now I'm gonna show you real quick what is banking offset for those who don't know. If you just roll, this is called an inline roll, where the middle of the track is straight. As you can see, it is straight. But if you add some banking offset, so what it does is, instead of rolling on the middle of the track, it rolls 2 meters above the track. So your center is here instead of at the track itself. So as you can see, it's definitely curved out. Now you don't want necessarily 2 meters, that's the maximum in game 1. What you want to do is find a good spot, usually would be the middle of the seat. And that's a little bit less than 1 meter actually. So that should do it. By the way, there is no angle snap on this. You gotta go with your eye. It sucks. I hate it. I hope that we have more control in the future, maybe in Planet Coaster 2, something like that. That would be great. I really hate this. So, let's see this. So what you want to do is 45 degree, 45 degree. You can go smaller increments than that. It's up to you. And 90 degree here. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good for my banking offset. I think it's good. Sometimes you gotta trial and error here because of banking offset. There's no, like I said, because there's no precise control on it, you just gotta try. So when you reach your peak of your roll, you want to put back down to 0 and make sure you roll at 180. I'm still turning 45 degree here because it's still the first part of the roll. Half of it is turning right, half of it is turning left. And once again, you might want to do custom supports. On the other side, very simple. You just turn on the opposite direction, go back down 45 degree, another 90 degree here. Boom, just like that. Simple as that. If you want this to not go this far to the right, you can make it turn less than 45 degree. So you could have like turn just 22 degree. If you want it to be higher, more abrupt, then you can go higher. Just don't go all the way to 90 degree. It's not gonna work very well. And keep in mind that the higher you go, the more you approach that 90 degree. You can still, you can do something very thin with like something like this, 22, something like that. Smaller pieces will get you, of course, a tighter roll. If you want more pieces, then you'll need to turn less than 90 degree at a time. So you can definitely do rolls with 6 or 8 pieces instead of 4. But that's my basic roll. It looks pretty smooth. Oh yeah, one thing. If you're gonna use the smooth buttons, one big mistake is to hit the smooth all, because smooth all also includes smooth height, which would reduce your height of the roll. So if you're ever going to use the smooth buttons, go with smooth banking, smooth turn, and do them well, smoothly, really, conservatively. But today I will not use the smooth buttons because I want to show you how you can do it without the need of smoothing. The whole point of this is that you don't need to smooth. So let's do this here on the opposite side. That should do it. And exit. Now the big thing about the in-game one is you'll see here it's kind of rough on the lateral G-force, the entry point and the exit point. They are pretty rough on the lateral G-force. Mine should be smoother. So let's test it out and watch the results here. So the roll itself is very smooth, like I said. Lateral, see right there. It's kind of dark. As well. If I had more speed, this could have been problematic. Of course, this is not a lot of speed, so that's why it's totally fine. But yeah, this is definitely where the big difference is. So let's start testing, see on my side what it looks like. Could have added a little bit more banking offset, I think. So the roll isn't as smooth. I would have needed to add a little bit more banking offset, like I said. A little bit of the smoothing buttons would be able to fix that. Lateral G-force. Oh, actually, it's even worse. Ha! I messed it up. Awesome. Well, you now know how to do the numbers, right? Like from there you can adjust. This is the basic of it. Just the basic of it. And now, yes, I wanted to say yes. I said yo, I don't know. And yes, now let's go with the heartline roll. The heartline roll has always been a pure mystery. It's a nightmare to do. It is impossible to be as smooth as in the pre-made one. But it's always about control. The thing is, let's say you want to, instead of doing an exit like that, let's say you want to do, well, anything. See, the in-game one, it forces you to exit like this. You don't have that control. So that's basically the reason why you want to make custom ones. If you use just the basic entry, basic exit, like you don't need to worry about this. This is where you have an issue with the G forces. So like, yeah, if you do this, yeah, it's gonna be smooth, definitely. It's anything else, like this, you're restricted. You're very restricted. That's the big reason why you kind of want to make custom ones. The heartline roll, I'm gonna promise you, it's not as good. It's not as good as this. But I did find an easy, quick solution how to make it quick and easy. Actually, I'm gonna redo this whole thing afterward because I want to make it a little bit bigger. So going in, the big thing about heartline rolls is if you try to do something like this and then 9 degree, this is gonna give you a very weird top of the roll. It's gonna look more like a corkscrew. What you want to do is go in at 45 degree. So like this, like this, like this. Now banking offset on the going in piece is gonna be very wobbly, but what you can do I'm gonna show you something weird. You go negative, just past the 1 meter. So you do this, and it's gonna be more centered on the track. It's gonna be smoother, much smoother. For the actual roll itself, like the in and out, you want negative banking offset. But for the actual roll itself, you want a little bit higher than 1. A little bit higher. Now I went left 11.25. So what I want to do is go right twice that number. Why? You'll see. It's gonna align everything at the end. You can always, well, it's custom, so you can always customize this. But this is the basic of it. I keep repeating myself on that. The up angle here, the vertical angle, you wanna keep it straight. When it comes to turning, if you just keep turning the same angle, you're gonna make a circle basically eventually. But when it comes to elevation, if you select an elevation and keep at it, it's gonna make a straight line. So that's why we are not touching this. It's keeping like this. There we go. Also, you'll want to reduce that size by half, approximately. You might want to go a little bit bigger than half, actually. But for now, I'll just stick to 10 meter because it's going to be easier. So, we got the banking offset, 22, 11. This, roll it. Maximum 90-degree roll here. The top of the inversion, you want it straight when it comes to left and right. Like this. And of course you want to go back down. So this is the moment when you change your angle. See, we went to 22 meter right. Basically we're doing a 22 meter down. 22 degree, not meter. 22 degree. Sorry about that. And because we're already going up 11, we're going down 11 this time. Like this. And that was on 0 turn. Now this, like I said, we want to keep straight down so we don't touch this. Turn in 22 meter. Give your 90-degree. Go. Boom. You know what? I'll make a double roll. So if you want to keep rolling, you want to, just do the same thing here. 0 degree. Like this. Like this. There we go. And then I'm gonna finish it up. Okay, and to finish it up, I was on a 20 meter piece here. Don't forget to switch back your banking offset. Finishing it up is I was going I just turned 22 meter left here, so 11 to the right, going back to 0 here, going back to 0 here, just 11 right. Now the reason why I did this 11 left and right is so that this is centered forward. So this is how you make it straight. There's a slight difference because I use 20 meter pieces and 10 meter pieces, so technically I'm actually just a little bit left of my original position You can fiddle with that to make it straighter, but it's really good enough. And the roll itself isn't perfect either. It's a little bit clunky, but it's as straight as I've ever made it. Here, let me reproduce this on the left side now. And you'll see the in-game roll are perfect. There's no compression to this. It just really is, and it sucks that it is. I hate that they're so good. I really wish I could make one this good, but no, there's nothing I can do about that. Here, that's about right here. Okay, and then the exit. Okay. But where this changes everything is if you wanted to make half a roll and then exit, or if you wanted to stretch out one piece, something like that. This is why, having control, this is where it makes a difference. Okay. So let's start testing this. Wait, hold on, did I left this one in testing? No, okay, cool. So yeah, let's start testing this. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, so the in-game one is by far best if you use the entry and exit. If you wanna make it like half a roll, something like that, definitely the custom one is better. See, perfectly smooth all around, beautiful. Kinda sucks that it is. I'm angry at it. Yeah, okay, cool. Start testing. And this is mine. A little bit wobbly, you'll see. Sadly, the smooth buttons on this don't really work well. So yeah, a little bit wobbly, but it's still pretty damn good. So yeah, this is the custom, custom heartline roll. This one actually, I kind of like the supports. I think they're great. You might not need to make custom supports for that one. If you have any suggestion actually for an even better one, I don't think there is. Unless you want to do the 4-meter technique. The 4-meter technique, I hate it so much. But if there is any one single good use to the 4-meter technique would be the heartline roll. Every other stuff, I think you should just do like long pieces. So much better, so much easier. So I hope this helped. You can still apply all the rules. Try, there's things you can do with that. You can stretch it out. Try to make it better. Even if it's not perfect, like, oh, a little bit like this and blah, blah, blah. So there's still, it's all about possibilities, right? So on that note, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Moo.